Here's a wild question, my AKAPADers. Do I have to like toy hunters, toy collectors, the individuals that do the same thing you see here? They do this with toys, which is like endless shelves and sizes and shapes and different colors, but they buy, they display, they buy, they display. They later get divorced. They end up alone. They end up with bad opinions on pop culture. You might say, like, what, Pete, what's the beef? What's the difference between a toy collector and everything you see here? Well, look, I'll take this over any day of the week when it comes to curating, we'll say. When you're selectively tracking down what you need for a library or to somewhat have a complete view of a run of work. A toy collector just they get toys, they line them up, blah 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 blah. But a comic book collector, this, well, the average comic book reader, their brain is going to work a lot differently than the toy guy. There is a difference between the comic book reader, because you're reading and you get all the benefits of reading, versus toy collecting. So what we see here, and the individual that posted this, I don't even care. It doesn't even matter who they are. If it comes down to it, I guess I can show you the receipts. I don't think I ever will. This is one of those McFarlane DC figures that, I got issues with that too. Hey, people, welcome to the channel. I hate everything. But this McFarlane figure is of a DC multiverse, DC universe. It's a character. The character looks cool. A kid might wander into Ross, pick up the figure, and maybe that kid got some good grades. Maybe he's been or she's been a good student or been doing their chores, but they bring that toy to their parent, and a good parent would say, here you go, little Timmy, here you go, little Susie, we'll buy this for you. You can take it home. And the kid eventually learns that this really cool action figure is connected to a world of comic books, to a world of reading. Not only that, to a lifetime of study. But that can never happen, because these toy collectors, these scalpers, these hoarders, wherever they are, wherever they happen to be, they just suck up all of these discounted Ross figures. They suck them up like vacuums. And in no way do these figures find their way into the hands of the next generation. This is a part of the problem. As my issues grow with Todd McFarlane and the practices of McFarlane Toys, upcoming video, as my frustration grows with that individual, with his company, there's some benefit to it. And the benefit is they're doing this huge rollout. I mean, the products that McFarlane Toys is doing alone, the DC products alone, it's head spinning. It really is. I mean, it goes back to like that sweet spot from DC Direct, when they were doing these like little pocket figures, and they had these really cool 2-packs and cartoon accurate Super Friends figures. Really head spinning, amazing stuff. That's a little bit of the vibe I get from McFarlane Toys. Then you might say, Pete, why you hate it then? Well, because I got issues. But this is the problem, my AKAPADers. See, action figures is one hell of an entry point. It's one hell of a gateway drug to read comic books. And that's exactly not what the comic book industry, but the local comic book shops. That's what the local comic book shops need. They don't need you promoting comic shops. Who cares? That's not going to do anything. We had James Gunn pushing comic shops not long ago. What does that do for the store? It does nothing. We need to program and inspire and get children, get kids, get them while they're young, show them how cool it is, and yet you possess them for life. So many of us got bit in a similar fashion for similar reasons in a similar way. It bites you and it never lets go. Even me, I don't know how many times throughout my life I gotta say I'm done with it. I gotta give it up. And like a crackhead, I get back into it. Or a friend you haven't seen in a while, you run into him at a Toys R Us and the Watchmen movie's coming out. And next thing you know, you're having 3-hour-long conversations about comics, right? Yeah, these guys, the toy collecting world is anti-comic book reading. They don't like comic book readers. They don't help grow comic book readership, which is weird because all of their toys that they love, that they spend all the money for, are derived from comic books. So many of them are. It's a weird time, AKA Padders. Let me know what you think.